Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Problem Solver Politics. I am your host, Cardin Ellis, with Cody the Oracle.
Oh, hey, everybody.
And they may not know it yet, but another presidential ticket has been nominated for 2020. Tell us what's going on, Cody.
All right. So, like many stories, this one's going to take us back a few months. So, we're going to go to July the 1st. I'm trying to find the exact date of it in the article, but it's a Medium post here from a Jackson Mark Tandy, but he brings something up there. He says, Joe Rogan endorses Yang McRaven for 2020. Momentum is growing for the, quote, dark horse duo plan. So, let's go through a little bit what this was. So, one of the Weinstein brothers, it was Brett Weinstein, was appearing on the Joe Rogan podcast earlier, I think late June or early July.
Yeah.
And during the interview, Weinstein proposed a third-party candidate, actually two candidates, to run against Trump and Biden for 2020. Quote, if there ever was a time when an independent party has a chance, now would be the time. If someone steps in and has a real solution, someone was a person of substance that we really believed in, and we said that person could really do this, this actually could happen. Let's vote independent. It could happen. So that's how this started, with just one of the Weinstein brothers on the Joe Rogan podcast. Originally, he mentioned, as they mentioned here, Yang, a lot of you guys may be familiar with, Andrew Yang, he ran for president. Yeah. The other name, which at the time I had not heard of, was Admiral William McRaven, right? I mean, a former Navy SEAL, former chancellor of the University of Texas, and a center-right Republican. So basically the idea started with this. Weinstein said, here we go, he actually puts it here. Weinstein's vision is these two candidates, Andrew Yang and William McRaven, could bring America back from the brink of disaster with calm heads, capable minds, and a political partnership built on cooperation. Idea of it basically from the beginning, dark horse duo was it originally ran as. It got amended to unity. The idea was this. You get a candidate from the left, you get a candidate from the right, have them serve as a kind of independent third party, basically bringing the needs and having both the needs of Democratic voters and Republican voters in one party. That was it. So let's get to one of the more current stuff. Brett Weinstein definitely ran with this, and he went and started the whole Unity 2020, the Articles of Unity. He has a website. I want to pull a website up for you guys right here so you can get a look at what's going on. This is the Unity 2020 website, and we'll go through their facts really quickly.
Before you go through it, I have to point out that hashtag just say no to Donald and Joe is hilarious. And while listening to some of the opening statements of many of these Unity 2020 people, I hadn't considered a point they brought up, that no matter who gets elected, Donald Trump or Joe Biden, we will have officially elected our oldest president ever.
Oh, yeah. And that's
either way.
Yeah. And we can look at the age. But I want to get to really quickly about the last few things. So we'll go through this, and they're going to bring through one of the biggest things. I want to say it off the bat before we go too far into this. I'm pretty sure even if they got the candidates on board to run for this, they're not going to, it's literally impossible with time getting on the ballot. It can't be done. But let's go through what the Unity 2020 FAQ is very quickly, and then we'll get into what's going on and happened yesterday. So is this timeline viable? Yes, but only if you sign up. Unity 2020 is 100% people-powered. Elections in the United States have become big business, and that business selects candidates who are interested in winning than in governing. DNC and GOP spend hundreds of millions of dollars each election cycle to spin false narratives, turn citizens into enemies, and protect vetted interests. Yes, they do. Or vested interests, part. Short timeline for Unity 2020 is our advantage. By not exposing our candidates to months of focused opposition smearing, I don't like that. Anyway, we actually improve our chances of success. Together, we'll draft the best candidates so your voices can be heard. Then they go through and say, why not 2024, which actually is a much better thing. Then they get to the candidates. I want to show you the candidates. So,
well, hold on. Before you do get to the candidates, it is a good question asking why not 2024, because we do need to say before we jump to the candidates and get ourselves all excited that none of these people actually could be on the ballot, because half of these times to register are over, aren't they?
That was my point beginning. Okay. So before we get too far into this again, this is not literally going to be on any ballots as far as reality seems.
But it's the idea.
Yeah.
I like the idea.
Also, there's something else in here I want to talk about too. So let's go through. We're going to go through. There is a total of 6 total names that were brought up and voted on, but I believe it was about 8,000 people who voted on these names. I want to get that right. Around 8,000, I think, total. So you can see for the left, they had Tulsi Gabbard, Andrew Yang, and Jesse Ventura, which, by the way, I would definitely say those 3 people represent the modern Democrat establishment, right? 3 people that would be... Andrew Yang was allowed after he begged, but Tulsi Gabbard got kicked out of the DNC, the convention this year.
And then Jesse Ventura, he's never been actually a registered Democrat. He was in that Buffalo logo party in Minnesota.
Like an independent party. And then on the right, you see Dan Crenshaw, who is actually... kind of like a Trumpian Republican serving, sitting politician. That one makes sense for the right. Jocko Willenick, who I've never seen outside of his podcast promotional photos. He looks very dapper in the hat right there.
Okay.
And then William H. McRaven, who was brought up before. And they have profiles and all these. Now, without further ado, I want to get through and let you guys know. So yesterday they had the vote. So one of the cool things about the Unity 2020 idea, one of the reasons why I've been keeping my eyes on this actually is the fact that you saw the 6 names there, right?
Yeah.
Because they had the 6 names there, the way it worked actually is it was literally ranked choice voting.
Yeah.
So, and we have right here from Brett Weinstein, and I'll tell you guys in a second why I'm showing you a Brett Weinstein tweet to announce this, but let me reformat a little bit. But according to Brett Weinstein, at tonight's Unity 2020, tonight being last night, we announced the target of our draft. Congratulations to be Tulsi Gabbard and Dan Crenshaw. So a little bit long in here before we told you guys. That's who actually won the voting. However, because it is a ranked choice vote, they mentioned that Andrew Yang and William McRaven, the original Dark Horse duo, will be the runner-up to this. Now, again, hate to burst bubbles. As far as I know, none of these people are going to be accepting any of this. None of these people can be on ballots.
But it's the idea.
And it is. But one last thing I want to, because we get to talk about Tulsi. Last thing I want to talk about, and we'll get to this. I like Tulsi Gabbard. I would never in a million years say Tulsi Gabbard represents the modern Democratic Party today. She just doesn't. And something else
Maybe
I want to
not
highlight
the party,
for
but I
Tulsi.
feel she's more in tune with the average Democrat in general.
Is that why she couldn't get any support? I mean, the media hurt her trying to get support when she ran, but she already ran for president. It didn't go well. No, I like Tulsi. It just didn't go well. But check this out. This is reporting from Vox just August 8th, about a month ago. They mentioned that the time has come to find out who's likely to replace Tulsi Gabbard in representing Hawaii in Congress. On Saturday, August 8th, Hawaii will hold primaries for its congressional seats, which has already happened. But the reason I want to bring it up is mentioned. Yeah, Tulsi Gabbard already, I believe, she's not returning to Congress. Tulsi Gabbard's basically said, I think going back to October of 2019 even, she said, look, I'm not going to run for Congress. My presidential run's all I'm doing. And I think she's going to take some much deserved time away from politics for a while. One of the reasons why I would be really, even to see Tulsi say, I can't actually be on the ballots, but that, she seems to be somebody who's fine not being away from the mean girls, which the Democratic Party became, which is, is rude and shoulders her out of everything. And then the other name that came up, when we see here is, give me 1 second. I want to go back and make sure we have up here. You look, Dan Crenshaw. I have to imagine Dan Crenshaw's fairly happy being a sitting congressman. I have to imagine he's fine with that. I don't think he wants to run for president. And I don't think he wants to do a 45-day run for president.
Yeah.
So this does seem a little bit pie in the sky. And even we see there's forums you can go to on the Unity 2020 website. And even on these forums on the 2020 Unity website, you see people saying, so what happens? I believe this one I want to show you guys. We have someone here commenting and saying, so what happens when the candidates voted to be drafted into these positions do not accept these nominations? Will the whole process come down to which candidate ended up willing to do it? Do we have any idea how many of the candidates have interest? And you can go through here, and a lot of people see that. Names like Justin Amash are coming up. Lawrence Less. This doesn't seem to be a real thing happening, but it is interesting to know.
It's the first. Oh, maybe it doesn't right now, but here, we got to think positively here. I think this is an amazing idea. First off, because you have drafted presidents instead of megalomaniacal narcissists who need more attention. Okay, and that's actually something where I actually think part of the appeal to Trump was all those thousands of interviews where he's done where he's saying, I don't want to run for president. People have asked me to run for president. I would only do it if I thought nobody else was there to do a good job. Like you said on Oprah, and like you said in all those other shows in the 80s and the 90s and the early 2000s. So I think that idea of having a duty-driven president instead of a ego-driven president is much more attractive to the average American, because then they trust the person's motives more.
No, I mean, I agree. Okay. Like structural, yes.
Yeah, so that's the first thing I like about this, okay? And then the second thing that I like about this is the ranked choice voting style, where you just really know that you are getting, in my opinion, ranked choice voting is something we really need to consider as a society. I can't endorse it as the best thing yet, because I haven't lived in a society that's tried it and seen, what kind of weird potential flaws it might create and unintended consequences, as JFK says. But I really like the idea that it was ranked choice voting, and I trust the emotional intelligence of all those candidates, even up to Jesse Ventura, more than I do of any of these other cats running against Donald Trump right now. I don't trust any of them.
Look, okay.
And so, I mean, there's not
about-
a person on that list I would trust less than Kamala Harris.
How about this though? Yeah, I didn't know this. Someone brought this up. Interesting.
Okay.
If Tulsi and Dan Crenshaw did run together, it doesn't matter, but just fascinating. It would be a ticket where neither of the candidates were born in the continental United States. Tulsi born American Samoa. I didn't know this. Dan Crenshaw born in Scotland, I believe.
Yeah.
And I believe that'd be the first ticket we'd see. Again, it doesn't matter, but it was just kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. I think that'd be the first time we saw that. I didn't know this either. Did you know where John McCain was born?
Well, he's a military family, so he was born abroad on like Guam or something.
Like, yeah,
that,
the
right?
Panama Canal area, I guess, like the Canal Zone, something like that. Yeah, just
Okay,
it's interesting. And then you have Ted Cruz is from Canada, I believe. It's just interesting how many people are born out of the United States every year that are American citizens. Don't get me wrong, a lot, but still, how many people run for president? Very few. What are the odds that like every now and then people who were like born for like and military families in Scotland or something? Either way,
or like State Department kids. There's tons.
Oh, there
of
we go.
State
Yeah,
Department
yeah,
kids.
just the but it's just kind of funny, right? Like you think like there's so many people born in the United States, like the continental United States, every single. I'm talking like Hawaii and stuff. It's just you think like, wow, in Scotland, how many naturally born American citizens are born in Scotland every year? I have to imagine some, but not that many.
Yeah,
thought that one would go. That's an aside. But one
so
thing
the
I want to talk
Unity
about.
2020 campaign got in trouble.
Yeah, that was the one
They
that
got in trouble.
You brought up that hashtag, just say no to Donald and Joe. Well, now I do believe I have to do more digging on this. I'm showing you the Brett Weinstein post. I'm not trying to take sides on this. My personal belief is this. I believe Unity 2020, they were going all over the place, posting the link to their website like crazy. Probably what you would call spam. A lot of new accounts were made to just post a link. It looked like spam. And a lot of people aren't exactly on board with this whole Dark Horse Duo Unity thing. And I think
The establishment.
No, just people on Twitter as well. I think they were letting Twitter know, hey, these people are spamming links. And as a result, you actually can no longer go to the Articles of Unity Twitter account. It's been removed. It's still down. Brett Weinstein's like, because we're trying to challenge the duopoly. I think they made enemies on the platform, and they were doing things that you could call spam. So you put the two and two together, and it's like, I'll tell you, that's
So
the
here's
one.
Cody
That's my one
defending big
bannable.
tech.
My one bannable offense on anything is spam. Spam promotion ban.
Yeah,
you
no,
cannot,
it's annoying.
Yeah, it's anything, dude.
Yeah.
You should not be allowed to go to a public park and just solicit people, and normally you can't because people realize that's not why I'm here. I'm not here to have every single tweet be spammed with "Go to this website, vote. Go to this website, vote. Go to this website, vote for our candidates." Like, dude, you can't do stuff like that. If that's their only reason, and I saw it myself. I wasn't the biggest follower of this, and I kept seeing it come in my timeline. That's how I was aware of it. I wouldn't be surprised, but I just thought it'd be interesting to kind of go and take a look a little bit at. And again, this is not everything going on with all this stuff, but last night they did announce that they had using the ranked choice voting. Again, believe about 8,000 people voted on this.
Okay.
Funny. Look at some of the forum threads on the Unity website. Even they are like, hold on a minute. How are like it's cool that us like 8,000 to 10,000. Like, how do we change politics with this many voters?
I gotta
don't
tell
know
you
if
this
it's
right
possible.
now. 45 days out may be impossible. Okay, but man, if we could actually get those emails, get those lists made, get those candidates contacted, show that there is a movement to draft them, the first steps have to be taken. And if not now, when? It's not ideal 45 days before. And sure, in some ways it might be considered a categorical impossibility. There we are. To pull this off, but let's get the ball rolling. If not now, when? And if this is the future of saving our republic, look, Donald Trump's going to save it for the next 4 years. Okay, so we already got that covered. But really, we need to find a better way. We need to find a better. There is a reason that we will be electing either of the two oldest, and that's not to be ageist, because I think Donald Trump's mind isn't, going to mush like Joe Biden's was yesterday. But we have noticed a progressive trend towards just older, less in tune, with now the largest voting bloc out there, millennials. That's showing if we are getting people in our ruling class that are older and older and generally richer and richer off the system, they're getting further and further removed from us. And the apex of that experience is literally this election, where we're going to be having people like that honestly should be in memory care as literal, quote, viable candidates who, as an actual campaign statement have said, you know, we really need to look at who my vice president is because they're basically probably going to be the president statistically. I mean, that's a dystopian system that doesn't show any kind of political, social, or economic health. Okay. So something has to change. And there's two ways. There's only two ways this can go of drastic change. It can either go towards like revolution, where we just become collectivists and have another crappy Bolshevik revolution. And for the next 100 years, we live in poverty like Russia did. Okay. We can't really say we have a capitalist revolution because crony capitalism reigns right now. That's kind of what we're living in. Okay. So the people taking the republic back, as Benjamin Franklin said, saying you have a republic if you can keep it. I think this is the best idea I've heard in 6 months. I think it's the best idea I've heard in 6 months, Cody. That's all I have to say about that.
Really? The best idea? Okay.
Well, no, okay. I'd say the best idea in terms of how to select our presidents.
Really?
Drafting and ranked choice voting,
sorry.
yes.
There's one thing, if I'm going to elect somebody for president, that I am going to care about. And that is a burning desire on their part to be president. And I don't see how that happens when you have to grab these people and pull them in. Those don't line up to me. You have to want...
But you constantly question politicians because of their burning desire. You question their motive.
Hey, ambitious people are dangerous. I'm still saying, like, you need that burning ambition inside of you to fight to become president, to really... Dude, if you just get put up there, it's bad things can happen. You need somebody, and I don't get me wrong. People who get there on their burning passion, bad things happen too. But that's what, as a voter, honestly, I care less about policy, and I care a lot more about just if that person running. One of the things that bothers me a lot about when I saw the covering the primary, you could see, dude, does anyone even remember Bill de Blasio ran for president? I don't think he really wanted to be president that bad. He seems to be fine being the Baron of New York City. You know what I mean? He seems to be fine doing that. Like I really want to see people who legitimately want to run this country for legitimate reasons. Now, unfortunately, the legit reasons for running this country could be bad reasons, and that's scary. But I just don't like the idea of, conscripting our presidential candidates. I don't like that. Okay. Conscripting. So you don't call it drafting. You're like conscripting. Look, I guess part of the reason why I'm okay with this is because being a duty-driven person myself, I would prefer to just go out and make movies and have fun and produce media and so on and so forth. However, if there is a call to serve because people think, Cardin, you have a unique set of skills and we view you as having the emotional intelligence that is necessary for the hour, okay, then I would rise to that occasion. And I think Dan Crenshaw, Jocko Willenick, I think Andrew Yang, Tulsi Gabbard, I think they're the same way. And because we have term limits in the United States of America, I could see them going home to their wives or their husbands and saying, honey, the call of duty hath come and knocked on our doors. For the next 4 years, we got to do this. And by now, their spouses are probably so familiar with them, their competence, their skill, and their duty-driven nature that they would probably support that. And we'd have an amazing president. And I could see that as being a viable system. I wouldn't have it be a lifetime thing. I don't think we should be able to draft our Supreme Court justices, because then that's like we're ruining the rest of your life. That's a tough ask. But for a 4-year thing, yeah, I'd be totally down. Totally down. I like it. What you just described is exactly what concerns me. Going to people and going, yeah, you're so awesome. You're so great. Only you. Like, yeah, let's put let's stroke somebody's ego and roll them out there after. No, dude, I want these people to say, one of the reasons why I loved Andrew Yang is because you could tell with Andrew Yang is like, I don't care if anyone believes in me. I don't care if anyone thinks it's a good idea. I don't care if anyone thinks I should or shouldn't be president. I'm running because I believe I need to. And you can tell, look at Andrew Yang's campaign. He ran for years getting no traction. Because he was saying, I'm not doing this to... He was literally thought... Let me put it. He felt that duty without having people come tell it to him, is what I'm saying. Yeah. I want to see that duty inherent in people. I want people looking at the state of our republic and saying, God dang it, I'm running to fix this. Not people that we have to go and, massage them. Man, you're so cool. You're so awesome. Wouldn't it be great if you ran? I don't like that. I'd much rather someone we've never heard of is literally throwing people off for them to fight their way to the front of the crowd and say, I'm running for president. That's what I would rather see. You're a presidential Darwinist. No, dude, so much of everything, especially in politics, is just what is inside it. What are they made of? Yeah. And that, dude, I learned a lot personally about what Andrew Yang was made of when I saw him run for president like that as a nobody had heard of, just fighting every single step of the way against the media. Same with Tulsi, where she's to fight the media every step of the way. I'd rather they showed me who they were than we decided who they were, kind of built them up and then put them up there. That's my only point.
Okay. Let us know what you guys think in the comments below. Like, share, subscribe. This is Problem Solver Politics. We'll see you guys in the next video.